Okay. Itamexkanatani. Good morning. It is the dawn of Moon Day. The 18th of March, if you can believe that. Almost done with a third of the year already. 2024. In the lunar cycle, Sa'aki, the duck moon. And we're starting to open that door of rapid seasonal change here. Last couple of days, last couple of mornings, I've seen widgeon ducks, which I showed on the last video. I've seen swans passing overhead, insects, new invertebrate life coming out. The isocapnia stoneflies we're out on the icebergs out here the other day. We'll see what we encounter this morning. Thought I would just get the video rolling. Don't know what all is in store for today. I don't have really any work lined up, but we'll make something happen. When you don't have work, that's when it's time to advertise and time to hustle, you know. So we'll be doing something today. But the dogs, these guys were on my ass all morning since about 4 a.m. I woke up middle of the night. I've been going through ironically, going through old seasons of the show Alone, right? The survival series where they drop off 10 contestants into individual areas in the wilderness and they just have to outlast each other, and they don't have film crews or anything, you know, they're just by themselves. I've been enjoying that up to season 6 now. And so that was playing all night. But about 4 o'clock, like I've been going to bed a little early. As soon as the sun goes down, pretty much. Once it's right down, maybe an hour later, 2 hours later, I'm passed out. And then waking up 3-4 a.m. or having segmented sleep where I wake up in the middle of the night and then go back to sleep for a little bit. But last night was an early wake up, 4 o'clock, and for the 3 hours until dawn, Miss Big Lucy Husky here just kept howl talking at me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wanting to go out here. Just dying to get back out here. She hasn't been with me for a few days. Hasn't had a good run and social period, so she was just looking forward to it. We're gonna take a nice walk this morning, burn out all that energy, scratch that itch, and we'll see where the day takes us. I was just thinking about what if these guys ran into a porcupine and I came across this little baby. Well, not that little, but last year's born little porcupine. Okay, skach. Good thing you weren't on the ground, little guy. Forest has lots of bird sounds going on in it today. Starlings, flickers, chickadees, maybe some hairy woodpeckers. Just the winter birds yet, for the little birds. Until the insects come out, then we should see swallows and stuff starting to return. The first wave of smaller birds. Then we'll get our warblers and catbirds and wrens and orioles and all of that troop coming in after. It's a really nice morning out here. Lots of kiki calls from the flickers. Like that. Male flickers. Claiming territories. They should be jousting here. Anytime. I haven't heard any jousting songs, but it's that part of the year. Female flickers will return. Male flickers should have already sorted out whose territory is whose. You know, watching that Alone survival show, start thinking, in a way, my channel's its own survival show. It's just, you're watching this thing play out in real time, in a lifetime survival situation. Surviving the modern world. You know? And I struggle sometimes. Although watching that show, I also get some greater appreciation for what I might be in for in terms of struggle should I lose my house and go rogue. I mean, I've done lots of time in the bush, you know, in the field. When I was in the military. Before that, I even worked as a survival instructor in Eastern Oregon when I was in high school. But I've certainly spent my good amount of time outdoors and stuff, and I think I can handle myself. But, you know, watching these survival experts go on this show, and basically, if they're able to get through the first, you know, handful of days, and they're not somebody, I mean, they're actually somebody that belongs on the show, because they seem to be, like, when they select, they think they got a good crew, but always, you know, 3 or 4 of them flake out in the first few days. A lot of times just out of fear or just out of their element, you know, completely. But for the people that kind of set up and are able to make it happen for a bit, typically the end is starvation, you know. If they weren't starving, there would almost be no end to the show. But contestants, all of them, starve, and it's just who outlasts the other in terms of that starvation, you know, to see who wins, which is, you know, a scary reality. You're trying to live off of natural foods or something, or live in the bush for a bit. You know, they seem to be able to go a couple of months, but by then they're really starving. So, and most of them come there planning to be able to do a year. And none of them get even close. Well, at least in the seasons I've watched. Anyway, thoughts on survival. I used to be really, really into survival. And then living life and having many of my best friends die and losing important relationships and all of this, I now recognize that survival, while it might be, you know, might be nice to be a survivor, it can also be pretty grim, you know. The survivor ends up alone in the long run. You know, you think about the elders in the care homes and stuff, and you see, think whether it's a survival is all that great of a thing or not. I don't know. You know, like ultimately, every day I want to keep going, but a lot of days, you know, I might not be particularly happy about life. Surviving doesn't mean you get to be happy, I guess is part of the thing. I don't know. Just rambling. The sun's very bright. Some of these stoneflies I was talking about, they're just little guys, but they're one of the first insect life that I notice every year, and it always starts on these icebergs. Sometimes I also find these kind of floating foam stuff in the river, and those have at the end of winter here often have big bunches of mating and pupating midges. But yeah, the ice is where I see those stoneflies, and it may just be because they stick out so readily against the white, you know. They might be all over the river rocks and stuff, but they're certainly on the ice when you get down and look close, eh? There's one right there. There's one moving around here. There's a bunch of them. They're just all over the place here. They like the ice. Such a nice day out. Kind of thinking might take a little kayak adventure this afternoon. When I was out at the wilderness park yesterday morning for the walk and talk with Carol, we saw what looked like a swan alone by itself on the downstream end of the park, just hanging out in one part of the river. But could very well be that swan has a problem or something to bring it down like that. Most of the swans are migrating. They're flying high right on past, and if they're landing in groups. They're not found alone like that. So I'm curious. Might be a good idea today to throw the kayak in the water at Pavan Park. Take it upstream a little bit. I probably have to hike some of it like the last time. It was in basically the same area where I went to go get the swan skin last winter. The dead swan that went out from avian flu. This may be a similar situation. Last winter I collected it, and I was hoping that my friend Les would come grab it from me before it decayed too much, but it sat in my backyard for a few days, and then I ended up throwing it away. And then, like a day after I threw it away, then Les come around wanting to pick it up, but it had already been gone by then. It's those swan belly feathers and stuff are needed for the leader's staff of the Horn Society. It's part of what comes from Bawuxki, Scarface, the swans that took him past Motoyaki, the atmosphere, to the Sun's Lodge. Anyway, yeah, that might be what's in store for this afternoon. Haven't decided yet. Yeah, I was getting nowhere fast trying to pump up current, so figured I'd just get off on this side, portage my way upstream to where I want to be, and then I can take the kayak back. Plus, this gives me an opportunity to look, you know, around in the water here for mussels, freshwater mussels. I wonder if they're risen up to the surface. I think they go under a little bit in the winter, but they stay in their same beds, where they've been there for, at least for most of their adult life. They move around a little bit when they're new to the world, and then they settle in. But yeah, I've been thinking about, as I've been watching that alone, I've been thinking I should try some of these freshwater mussels. I've picked some before and brought them home and chickened out, never tried them. What do we got? Yeah, no, that's just agate. I look for that little white spots on the back where it's been, where the shell has been worn. So we'll see if any are up. But yeah, what a nice day. Can't believe it's 16 degrees out here. It's crazy. Check out the stonefly activity around here. Lots of them. Lots of them. Compared to what we were seeing this morning on the ice. I believe these are the same Isocapnia stoneflies. Cool. Yeah, walking in this cold river off the slippery rocks. It's probably really good core balance strength training, you know. Strength and agility. No mussels as yet, just empty shells. They might still be a little deep under. Well, it's not a mussel, but look at this guy. Is he alive? Look, he's got like clams attached, like baby mussels attached to his toes. What's up with that, buddy? You got baby mussels on your toes. 2 of them. That's crazy. Go back. Unless I'm gonna harvest a bunch of you, I ain't gonna harvest one. And you're the first one I've seen, so not that I've been lifting rocks looking or anything. Just reaching the wilderness park there, that cut bank. So we should, when we come around this bend, I should be able to see maybe if that swan is still up in that area that I'm talking about. Going through this kind of muddy area, silty area where I had to take off my sandals because they're just getting stolen off of my feet. But I've been seeing more crayfish, and they're all in bad condition or dead. That first one I picked up, it wasn't in good condition. The way it was acting was not right. And then I passed 2 dead ones, no, 3 dead ones. So maybe something's going on with the crayfish here. I don't know. Not looking good. And that one just had mussels hanging from its feet. That was bizarre, you know? Little baby mussels. Kind of cool, but bizarre. They're like eating him alive or something. Starting to come around the bend, you can see there's some geese there. In fact, there's an island up here where they're going to be nesting. They shouldn't have eggs yet. Not at the full moon as yet. It's a big beaver scent mound here. And obviously beaver chewed sticks and stuff. I gotta be a little careful in my bare feet that I don't skewer myself under the river mud on one of those. Wonder which lodge that beaver belongs to. It must be the one back in Pavan Park, I would suspect. Let's see. I didn't even bring anything to put a carcass in. Should I come across a carcass today? It looked like it was still alive yesterday morning, but sitting in the water just by itself with its head tucked. Even if it's not here, it's kind of a fun adventure hiking upstream like this, and then I'll be able to ride my way back, you know. It should be fun. Getting back into rockier terrain. My feet, after about 1.5 kilometers in the freezing water here, my feet are aplenty numb. No more crayfish. I thought if I started the camera we'd come across some that were dead or in bad condition. Probably as soon as I turn off the camera it'll be that way. Now where I seen the swan would have been just up here, just around this bend up here, because we were up on this cut bank here and we could see the swan over here. So it may not be there now, which is fine. I think I'm just going to continue moving upstream for a while and get in and paddle back when I feel like it. May come across some other stuff up this way. I don't know if I'll get all the way to where the eagle's nest is, but I haven't been underneath the eagle's nest at all. Could be cast feathers and stuff down there that's worth getting at, but that's still a ways upstream. I don't know if I'm going to get that far. Here's a good mussel shell, but not the critter itself. Here's a littler one too. Okay. Nice shells all the same, but I gotta start figuring out something I can make with them. You know, they're pretty, they shine up nice and stuff, but they're pretty fragile as far as shells go, you know. Oh, might put my sandals back on for this rockiness. Yeah, my sandals are kind of coming apart. Taylor got to them, started tearing them up, and now I definitely need to buy new sandals, but I'm not going to buy the same brand again this year, this Keen, because they got that stupid toe guard on there, and this model of sandal was just excellent before they put that toe guard, and after they put that toe guard, of course, you get stuff caught in the toe guard, and it sucks. You know, I used to be able to go down nice mountain scree slopes and stuff right off of Chief Mountain. In fact, Keen used part of my video in their promotion for the new toe guard. Little did they know the little toe guard makes it so if you go do that same thing that I did with the open toe down the mountain, you get a bunch of rocks and debris and crap stuck in your shoe, basically. It becomes a shoe, it's no longer a sandal in my book. So I gotta find a new sandal that's as durable as the Keen, but with the open toe. Who knows? Yeah, there's for sure gonna be nesting going on out here on this island, but I'm not gonna go check it right now because they're not gonna have eggs yet, you know. It's just gonna be a disturbance if I go out there and make them think that potentially that it's not a secure place to nest, so I won't do that. Yeah, my sandals are doing me no good now. I think when I pulled one out of the mud, I ripped part of it open again further, and so it's just looser. Look at where some bird got taken apart here. Yeah, so I mucked up my sandal a little bit more, and it's just not staying on my foot in the river, so I'm not going to bother with it. Also, I need to get out of the water and warm up my feet a little bit, so I'm just docking my kayak for a moment, taking a little stroll along the tree line here. This is an area where I was seeing lots of eagles perching in these trees latter part of winter, you know. You guys saw one day out here, I don't know how many I counted, there was like a dozen eagles at least in these trees along here. So I'm gonna take a look. You never know, might find an eagle feather. Something like that would be nice. But yeah, I'm just gonna put back in with the boat here when I go. Taking a look out this way, checking to see if just by chance maybe that swan made her way out to the island or something and is just kind of laying down out there. Actually, that's a good reason to go check that island, to tell you the truth, because that could have happened. That swan could have made her way over to that island to die, and she could just be down flat on the ground where I can't see her. Oh, my toes are burning as they're getting sensation and blood and stuff back into them. It's out, Chihuahua. Yeah. Walking on this stuff is not painful, but coming out of the freeze is painful. Decided not to pull off at the island. I could see from the water pretty much everything that was in there, and there was no swan in there, so I didn't bother. But I have decided to pull off here at these fossily looking cliffs, and I think there's more downstream on the other side that I'll check out. Since I got the kayak in the water and everything already today, might as well poke around a little bit. But I am totally bare of foot for the rest of the afternoon, so not that that really matters. I'm pretty used to being bare of foot. Anyway, poke around just a little bit, see if anything's coming out of these sediments. Check it out. We got these little wolf spiders on the run all along these cliffs. Lots of little guys. I don't know if you can see them even, but I see them. I just see them on the scurry as I go. I am on return to the kayak because not finding anything but a little bit of fragments of clam shell and stuff. you know, like this. But nothing too exciting as yet. Just slowly cruising along the edges of these cliffs. Still got my eyes peeled for any cool fossils. We do live in dinosaur country after all. And I just want to enjoy the river. I love a good float. I don't know if you can see the moon. I can't see her on my viewfinder, but I can with my eyes. She's looking about almost 3/4 full. Which means that there will be goose eggs very soon. Very soon. Oh, this is so peaceful. Alright, I'm gonna try to just get us drifting nice and slow like along this cut bank here, because there's some cool stuff to look at. These cut banks are homes to lots of animals. Hey, look at this. Something uses that. Probably was at one time a beaver's dugout. We're coming across a beaver lodge here. If I can get us drifting a little bit, just a little bit faster. Yeah, bank swallows. I don't see any bank swallow holes, but bank swallows. Belted kingfishers use the cut banks. This is an active beaver lodge. There's lots of new materials in here. Hold on, let me see if I can get us closer to the shore again. Real quick. Don't want to go too far away because we're going to pass some more cool stuff. There's hey, how's it going? Good, good.
Oh, you're the first kayaker I've seen in March.
Oh yeah. Well, river's wide open and it's 16 degrees, so.
Thought I'd check out this beaver dam.
I know. There's a really cool little
Kind of a tunnel, right?
tunnel in here too.
Yeah, it comes up about 30 feet up in here.
Oh yeah, and then well, there might be a mink den just a little bit further down here too. Shoot. Right in here. There's a nice mink size hole.
Well, there's one that hangs around here, but we haven't seen him for about a year or so.
Oh yeah. Ha ha. See ya. There's a drone somewhere above. I can hear it, but I can't see it. Somebody's probably got me on their drone video. Yeah, that slide by the cut bank didn't go exactly how I planned, but that is all right. We are nearing our exit point. It's just past this little rock jetty here. So I'm probably gonna pull out, call it a day, and I don't know, unless something else happens, but I think it's just going to be quiet for the rest of the round, so I'm going to go home and chill out, I think.